before the story starts. If you love emotional and real-life stories that teach a powerful lesson, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let's begin. It was supposed to be just another slow afternoon at Maggie's diner, the kind of old roadside cafe that smelled like brewed coffee and memories. The place had faded checkered floors, squeaky stools, and a warm hum of old country music. Behind the counter, Maggie, a 67-year-old waitress, moved slowly but gracefully, her silver hair tied in a bun, her wrinkled hands steady from years of serving strangers with a smile. But what Maggie didn't know was that her quiet little diner was about to become the stage for something that would shake the hearts of everyone watching, and change one arrogant teenager's life forever. Chapter 1. The door chimed as a group of loud voices burst in, 3 teenagers wearing designer jackets, sunglasses indoors, and the kind of careless laughter that came from never having to worry about anything. At the front was Tyler, 18 years old, tall, sharp-jawed, and rich enough to think the world revolved around him. His father owned the biggest dealership in town, and Tyler loved reminding everyone of that. They slid into a booth, tossing their phones and car keys on the table. Maggie approached with her usual soft smile. "Good afternoon, dears. What can I get you?" Tyler leaned back and smirked. "You can start by bringing the menu faster, Grandma. We're not here for story time." His friends laughed. Maggie simply nodded, her smile never fading. She brought them menus, poured water, and walked away quietly. Tyler watched her slow movements and rolled his eyes. "Man, why do old people even work here? Go retire or something," he muttered loud enough for her to hear. She returned a few minutes later with their order, 3 burgers, fries, and milkshakes. As she set the plates down, her hand trembled slightly. One glass tilted, spilling a few drops of shake on Tyler's jacket. It wasn't much, but it was enough. Tyler's expression hardened. He stood up suddenly, glaring at her. "You serious? You just messed up my jacket. Do you know how much this costs?" Maggie stammered, "Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. Let me." But before she could finish, Tyler spit on the floor near her shoes, sneering. "That's for ruining my day, Grandma. Next time, maybe retire before you embarrass yourself." The diner went silent. Maggie froze. The only sound was the slow drip of a milkshake sliding off the table edge. Her lips trembled, but she said nothing. She just turned around and walked back to the counter, wiping her eyes quietly. Tyler's friends laughed, taking videos on their phones. They thought it was hilarious, but what they didn't notice was the group of bikers sitting in the corner booth. 4 men, big and rough-looking, wearing leather jackets. They'd been quietly eating their lunch, watching everything. The tallest one, Ray, a bearded man in his late 40s with deep, kind eyes, clenched his jaw. He looked at Maggie, then back at the teens. "You boys just made a big mistake," he muttered. When the teens finished eating, they got up to leave, still laughing. But as they walked toward the parking lot, the door swung open, and the bikers followed. Chapter 2. The sun glared down on the parking lot as Tyler and his friend strutted toward their luxury car. One of them pulled out his phone, still recording. "Bro, that old lady's face was priceless," he chuckled. Before they could open the doors, Ray and the other bikers surrounded them. Tyler turned, confused. "What's your problem, old man?" he said, his voice shaky but still trying to sound tough. Ray took a slow step forward. "You know what my problem is? Watching someone disrespect a woman who's worked harder in her life than you probably ever will." Tyler scoffed. "Oh please. You gonna lecture me now?" Ray didn't raise his voice. He didn't threaten. He just looked Tyler dead in the eyes and said, "Son, I used to think money made people powerful. But you just showed everyone that money can make people weak, weak in heart, weak in respect, weak in humanity." The parking lot fell silent. Another biker, Tom, crossed his arms. You see that lady? She serves everyone here every day, rain or shine. And you thought you were better than her? You ain't better, kid. You're just lost. Tyler tried to laugh it off, but his voice broke. I didn't mean. Ray stepped closer. Then make it right. He pointed back toward the diner. The bikers didn't touch him, didn't yell, just stood there, unmoving. Tyler looked at them, then back at his friends. None of them spoke. Slowly, Tyler turned and walked back into the diner. Inside, Maggie was cleaning the same spot on the counter again and again, her hands shaking. When she saw Tyler, she flinched slightly, expecting more insults. But instead, Tyler's voice came out small. Ma'am. I'm sorry. He walked closer, eyes red. I shouldn't have done that. I was trying to act tough in front of my friends. But it was wrong. You didn't deserve that. Maggie looked at him, surprised. For a moment, she said nothing. Then, with that same gentle smile, she nodded. Thank you, dear. We all make mistakes. What matters is what we learn from them. The bikers stood outside the window, watching, then nodded approvingly before getting back on their motorcycles. As they drove off, the sound of roaring engines filled the air, a sound that somehow felt like justice. Tyler stayed behind and helped Maggie wipe the tables, one by one. He didn't have to, but he wanted to. When he finished, Maggie poured him a cup of coffee. You know, she said softly, people aren't remembered for how rich they were, they're remembered for how kind they were. Tyler never forgot those words. Months later, that same diner had a new sign outside, Maggie's Cafe, where kindness is served daily. And on weekends, a young man could often be seen behind the counter, helping an elderly woman with silver hair and a warm smile. That young man was Tyler. And before you go, if this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring true stories. Because sometimes, one small act of kindness can change a life forever. Red Heart.